Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror film named A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a school bus heading to the neighborhood, while two girls were talking about the weird boy sitting in the back. One by one, the other students got off the bus, until only the three of them were left. When the bus reached the girls' stop, the driver drove straight past it without stopping. Ignoring the passengers' displeasure, he sped the bus into the barren desert at the end of the road. After a bumpy ride, the sky suddenly darkened and lightning struck. The bus went faster, eventually coming to a stop after a steep dive. The two girls panicked to pee their pants, pounding on the windows, while the weird boy became more frightened. The ground around them began to collapse, leaving only a few uneven stone pillars standing. The bus balanced precariously between two of the pillars. The driver suddenly transformed into the nightmare killer, Freddy Krueger. The girls scrambled to the weird boy's side, and the three of them huddled together, shivering in fear like chickens. The bus swayed, and Freddy approached them with his razor-sharp claws, stabbing at them as chicken screams filled the air. The scene shifted to a family of four. The little sister heard her older brother Jesse scream and asked her mother why he couldn't wake up as usual. Her mother reassured her that Jesse was just having a nightmare. It turned out that the previous scene was just Jesse's dream. During breakfast, Jesse complained that the room was too hot and he couldn't sleep well. His father thought the air conditioning just needed some maintenance and didn't pay much attention to it. Jesse didn't think there was anything unusual either. However, at school, his friend mentioned that Jesse lived in a large house with iron bars on the windows. The friend sincerely praised Jesse's father for being brave, as everyone in town knew that Nancy, a previous occupant of the same house, was locked in that house by her mother and witnessed her boyfriend across the street being murdered by a nightmare killer. Jesse didn't take these words seriously. But later at midnight, Jesse woke up to get some water from the kitchen window and suddenly saw a figure pass by. He was sure the person was watching him, so he hurried to investigate. The dark yard was empty, but a burst of flame emerged from the basement. Jesse bent down to take a look, and a man wearing a hat was throwing things into the fire. The man seemed unfazed by the heat. Jesse was terrified by that and returned to his house, ready to explore the basement. He opened the door, only to find the man's shadow getting closer. He quickly closed the door and called for his father to help. The creepy man is actually the nightmare killer Freddy, who possessed the ability to teleport. He quickly captured Jesse. However, his goal was not to kill, but to threaten Jesse into assisting him. He removed his hat and peeled back his scalp, flexing his bloody tofu brain to Jesse. Jesse then screamed like a goose and woke up from the nightmare. He thought it was all just a dream, but one night not long after, Jesse's girlfriend, Lisa, came over to help him clean his room. She accidentally found a diary in the corner of his closet that belonged to Nancy, detailing Freddy's pursuit of her. Jesse was unaware of this, but when he saw the description of the steel claws in the diary, he remembered Nancy his friend had mentioned and couldn't help but get panicked. He began to doubt whether the man in his dreams might actually exist. That night, Jesse woke up again from his dreams, drenched in sweat. Turning on the light, he saw that many things in his room had melted from the heat. To confirm his suspicions, Jesse quietly went to the basement and found a steel claw on the floor, the same as the one on Freddy's hand. Suddenly, Freddy appeared, urging him to try on the claw. Then he pressed Jesse's hand onto the hot furnace, threatening him to kill people for him. Jesse turned and ran, but accidentally tripped on some tools behind him. He quickly sobered up and saw that no one was behind him, but the steel claws were indeed lying on the ground. Ever since Jesse's family moved into the house, the temperature inside had been rising. His father thought it was an issue with the air conditioning. While checking the thermostat, the bird cage suddenly shook violently. Jesse lifted the curtain to see a bird die right in front of him. Another bird got startled, bit him, and flew out of the cage, scratching his father's cheek before flying towards his terrified sister. The family was thrown into chaos, and after the bird flew around for a few circles, it exploded into a fireball in midair. After finally cleaning up the mess in the living room, Jesse's father assumed it was a gas leak and prepared to fix it. Jesse thought there was more to it, but when he tried to voice his opinion, his father blamed him for playing pranks on the family with firecrackers. His mother tried to defend him, but Jesse couldn't bear the false accusations and stormed off. Unable to sleep due to the heat, Jesse went downstairs to get some fresh air at midnight. Lightning from outside suddenly pierced through the wall and struck the plates in the kitchen. The recent events were becoming increasingly strange, and Jesse ventured into a nearby bar in the rain. The place was filled with men dressed in eccentric attire. He ordered a beer, but didn't get a chance to drink it before his gym teacher took him back to the school for punishment. After running a few laps in the gym, the teacher told him to go take a shower. However, while Jesse was showering, an incident occurred in the office. The gym teacher was cleaning up the sports equipment when the racket strings on the wall started snapping one by one. Basketballs rolled onto the floor, and the shelves around him began to shake violently. Baseballs shot out of a barrel, and the teacher dodged them by hitting the ground. The shelves behind him suddenly shifted, and the balls on top were flung towards him. A flying barbell shattered the window, and as he was closing the door, a jump rope whipped around him, dragging him into the bathroom and hanging him in front of Jesse. A towel flew over and repeatedly whipped the teacher's backside. Jesse stood there, not daring to move, as hot water gushed out and heavy steam filled the bathroom. Freddy approached the teacher slowly, slashing deep gashes into his body. Jesse reached out his hand to find that he was wearing the glove with steel claws, even covered in the teacher's blood. Jesse screamed in terror. Not long after, the police found a naked Jesse on the street and took him home. His father misunderstood that he had taken something he shouldn't have. The helpless Jesse shook his head and was escorted back to his bedroom by his mother. The next day, Jesse went to school as usual. The school gate was already crowded with people. He had a bad feeling about this. A friend pulled him aside and gossiped that last night a madman had disemboweled the gym teacher like a sausage, leaving bloody footprints all over the bathroom. Jesse could hardly breathe, as Freddy had managed to commit such a crime just by threatening him. That night, Jesse woke up from his nightmare again. Strange noises came from his drawer. When he opened it, the pair of steel claws seemed eager to be worn by him. Jesse heard noises from the room next door. He went over and gently opened the door, only to find his sister saying, "Freddy's coming for you. Better lock your door." Jesse knew that it was Freddy playing tricks and closed the door without engaging. The next morning, he asked his father if he knew about Nancy and why he bought the house. Surprisingly, his father already knew about the incident, but had bought the house due to its low price. Jesse was furious, questioning his father if he knew that the former occupant of the house had gone mad. His sister was frightened by his outburst, and his mother quickly intervened. Just then, the toaster suddenly caught fire. The father hurried to put out the fire, realizing that the appliance was not even plugged in. To figure out what Freddy wanted, Jesse sought Lisa's help. His girlfriend was more meticulous and read about a boiler room in the diary. After researching, they discovered that Freddy had worked at a power plant with a boiler room, so the two drove to the abandoned power plant where Freddy had kidnapped children and killed them. It's said that angry parents had tied him up and burned him alive inside the power plant. After the search, the two found nothing there, and from that day on, Jesse took stimulants every night, afraid to sleep in case Freddy possessed him again. One day, Lisa held a party at home as planned. Seeing that Jesse was constantly restless, she followed him with concern. After comforting him, Jess gradually regained his composure, and they could not help but kiss each other. Unexpectedly, during the kiss, a long, juicy tongue suddenly stretched out from Jess's mouth. As Lisa closed her eyes and enjoyed tongue massage, he quickly covered his mouth and ran away. With the party just beginning, Jesse went to his friend's house in despair, revealing the incident with the gym teacher. His friend thought he had just had a nightmare, but seeing Jesse on the verge of collapse, he couldn't just ignore him. He asked what he could do to help. Jesse lay on the couch, asking his friend to watch over him. If he started acting strange, as if he had a nightmare, his friend must stop him from leaving, either by knocking him out or doing anything necessary to keep him from going out. After Jesse fell asleep, his friend lay in bed watching some horror movies from Daniel CC Movie Channel. Seeing Jesse sleeping like a pig on the sofa, his friend was about to fall asleep when suddenly Jesse woke up in a panic, saying that he felt it happening again. A few seconds later, he became extremely pained, and 4 blades grew out of his fingers. His arm's flesh split apart, gradually turning into the burned Freddy. Terrified, his friend knocked on the door for help, but Freddy quickly broke out from Jess's skin and stabbed the friend's chick neck with his steel claws. The boy's parents shouted outside the door, and Jesse was now fully awake, with tears streaming down his face, cursing at Freddy in the mirror. Soon after, sirens were heard in the yard, and Jesse escaped through the window. He returned to the party and sought Lisa's help. Seeing her boyfriend covered in blood, Lisa became flustered. Jesse cried, saying that he had just killed his friend and that it was all Freddy's doing. As the two spoke inside the house, the barbecue suddenly caught fire. Everyone thought it was an accident and easily dealt with it, but they didn't know that Freddy had secretly locked the main door. Meanwhile, inside the house, Jesse suddenly yelled at Lisa to get away from there quickly as Freddy was about to arrive. Lisa held Nancy's diary and told him that he must find a way to resist. The surrounding doors and windows automatically locked, and the TV and fish tank suddenly exploded. In a moment of panic, Freddy emerged from Jess's body, and Lisa fled in terror. However, the front door had already been locked. Freddy teleported in front of her, lifted her leg, and viciously bit her. The lights in the yard exploded one by one, and the partygoers couldn't escape through the main door. They gathered on the balcony, banging on the windows. No matter what Lisa tried, she couldn't open the door. In desperation, she held a knife for self-defense. Jesse had already merged with Freddy, and when Lisa finally managed to stab him, the knife felt as soft as cotton. Jess caressed Lisa's face, confessed his love, and then leaped, breaking through the front door. Freddy disappeared with Jesse, and just as everyone thought things had settled down, Freddy burst from the ground, slashing a boy's head with his claws. People scattered in panic, and the iron fence surrounding the yard was hot from the fire. Even the swimming pool was ablaze. Freddy rampaged through the crowd, killing indiscriminately. A brave young man tried to calm him down, but Freddy pushed him to the ground. At that moment, Lisa's father rushed out with a gun. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Freddy was shot, but remained unharmed, possibly because of his bulletproof muscles. He gave Lisa a menacing look before disappearing into the wall. Refusing to let Freddy take Jesse away, Lisa drove to the power plant that night. 2 monstrous dogs guarded the entrance, but she closed her eyes and entered. While searching for Freddy, she suddenly felt an unbearable itch on her leg. Looking down, she saw ants crawling all over the wound. Lisa forced herself to stay calm, bandaged the wound, and continued to search the boiler room. The creatures were running around everywhere, frightening her into a frantic run through the plant. Finally shaking off the creatures, Lisa squatted down to catch her breath, only for Freddy to suddenly appear in front of her. She ran, but found herself at a dead end with nowhere to go. Desperate, she called out to Jess's spirit, and Jess responded to his girlfriend, but his voice quickly faded away. Lisa mustered the courage to keep calling for her boyfriend, which gradually weakened Freddy. As he fell, he threatened Lisa, saying they would both die together. But Lisa was resolute and went to massage him, causing Freddy to collapse, unable to move. In a short while, a massive fire engulfed the boiler room, finally knocking Freddy unconscious. The flames quickly disappeared, and Jesse slowly stood up, shedding the skin that belonged to Freddy. The two embraced each other tightly. Not long after, their lives finally returned to normal. Jesse began taking the school bus to school, with Lisa sitting by his side to keep him company. However, the nightmare was not over. As the two were chatting with a friend in the back seat, a steel claw suddenly protruded from the friend's chest, accompanied by Freddy's voice. The school bus accelerated into a desert, indicating that there were more horrors to come. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.